Today, I'm going to demonstrate how to download and install and use a safe exam browser to conduct examination, which is relatively safe, which is relatively tamper proof. So, as an evaluator, as a person who wants to evaluate the ability of the student, ability of the or knowledge of the student, I should ensure that the student should not cheat the exam. So this browser, when used, limits the scope of cheating of the students. Let me remind you that no method is foolproof. Even while using this exam browser, a student can use another device to search and key the correct answer. But this is where the time which we allot for the entire examination comes into play. If we allot a perfect duration of time, student will waste time. The student who really wants to cheat in the exam will be wasting his time searching for the answer and ultimately may not be able to complete the exam itself. So today I'm going to demonstrate how to install a safe exam browser, how to make use of the safe exam browser. Before starting off today's demonstration, I assume that you know how to prepare a multiple choice question or a computer based test using either a Google form or a Microsoft form or any other software your choice. So if you have done that, the other things become easy. So you need to first inform the student in general that they need to download and install the safe exam browser. I repeat again, a student on his part should download and install the safe exam browser, and he should not attempt to run the browser. So now where from the student is going to download a safe exam browser, all you got to do is make a Google search for safe exam browser. It will take to the safe exam browser page. Click the download and you can download safe exam browser 3 for Windows, and there is a version available even for Mac OS. Unfortunately, safe exam browser does not support Android, so students will not be able to make use of the features of safe exam browser if they are using an Android mobile phone. Of course, they can use an iPhone if they have, because safe exam browser supports macOS. So what is the difference between a safe exam browser and a conventional browser like Mozilla or Opera or a Chrome? Safe exam browser, when it starts, it ensures that it closes down or shuts down all the applications that unnecessarily communicates from the machine to the outside world. The first thing it does is it stops the Skype, it stops all the screen recording software. All these things are done. And safe exam browser does not have a minimize screen, so you cannot minimize the safe exam browser. You cannot evoke another tab or another safe exam browser window to ensure that you search for the answer. It is not possible, and you cannot go ahead and do a Google search using safe exam browser. For it, in fact, and during the entire duration of examination or till such time the safe exam browser is asked to exit, it shuts down all the other application which runs from the computer. The student will be seeing only the browser screen. In fact, even the screen capture software will not be able to capture the safe exam browser screen. Even in this lecture today, I have used a Handycam to record the safe exam browser because I am not able to use my conventional screen recording software to record the safe exam browser window. So after downloading the safe exam browser, file will be seen in your download folder. I am going to show you a video that shows how the entire installation process of safe exam browser continues. So this is actually a video clipping, shows Safe Exam Browser being installed. On double clicking, this window opens. You need to agree for the conditions and agreement of the software, and the software initiates and install itself in your Windows. Installation in Mac OS will be slightly different, but this is I'm showing Windows installation. I'm showing a real-time installation process. So this is the time usually taken for the installation to complete. So it is installing. As soon as the installation is over, the installer starts all the services needed and exits. So this is installation is over. You just give the close screen and go. Now after the software has been installed, you go to the Windows, go to the folder that contains Safe Exam Browser. So the folder will be shown here. Here you see, you click this down arrow and you hit at the Safe Exam Browser configuration tool. This is actually the Safe Exam Browser configuration tool. Since I have already set a password, it's asking for a password. So you need to enter the password if you have set. This is where you set the administration password. Administrator password is set here. This is the password you use to open the software. You open the config tool. So you key in your administrator password, confirm the password, so that only you can change the configuration of the exam browser's file, safe browser's file. And here, unless and until you check this box, the browser will not go even if the student wants a browser to quit. So you should allow the student to quit the Safe Exam Browser by making a check mark in this box. So I repeat again, student should be instructed only to download and install the safe browser. He should not open the browser at all. If he opens the browser, he will be tampering with the settings, and then he will give out a password, and ultimately everything will be chaotic. So you give them strict instructions that they should just install the browser and they should not evoke the browser. Only after you send the settings file to them, they should click the setting files and open the browser. Then only they should open the browser. So you should give strict instructions to the student that they should not open the browser before they get the settings file. So here you key in the administrator password, you repeat the same password again for safety purpose. Then don't forget to check this box allowing user to quit the Safe Exam Browser if he feels so. And here you get an interesting setting which says quit unlock password. The quit button, which will be seen down in the right extreme of the screen, will not be enabled if you evoke this password. Why this is given is, in our examination scenario, in examination settings, we are supposed to hold the students for the first half an hour. They are not supposed to go out of the exam hall for the first half an hour. So in order to make them sit during the first half an hour, to maintain the credibility of the exam process, the student should not get out of the hall for half an hour. So if you plan to do the online examination from within your college, you can use this unlock password setting, give out this password, and this password can be given to the student or to the local hall superintendent, so that they will give out the unlock password only half an hour of after the exam starts. Now this is the first page setting, and here this is where you give out the link for your test. Here, if you would have created a test in using your Google Forms or your Microsoft Forms, you give out the web address here. You just copy the web address here, and then this is actually the start URL. This is where the browser will go as soon as it is evoked. This page will open. So that is supposed to contain your test. So next comes the config file button. So here you should tell the Safe Exam Browser what setting you want to use the browser for. So you need to clearly specify that you want the browser to start the exam. So the first radio button should be clicked, not the second one. The first one should be clicked. And then you make a checkbox allowing preferences window if the student is using a Mac. So this is what you should check. Don't forget to check. Again, here you need not give out this numbers. This is not needed. This is again another layer of security. This is a crypto number. So if you evoke this, it gives out another layer of protection to the configuration file. So what we will do is we will set up a password based protection. So you'll give out a password for opening the configuration file. So you give out a password, you key in a password, then you give out a confirm password key, so that the student will have to key in this password to open the Safe Exam Browser config file. If he opens the config file only, the browser will take him to the test site. So this should be password protected. And this file, entire configuration file, can be sent to the student by email, not by WhatsApp. WhatsApp won't support sending this file. So you can send this configuration file to the student at least say 1 day previous, even a day previous to the exam. They can be sent, and the password can be sent to the student just 5 minutes before the exam. It can be sent either by SMS or WhatsApp. So the student can use the password to open the SEB config file. So the password can be sent 5 minutes before the exam. It can be sent by WhatsApp or it can be sent by SMS to the student. So this is as far as the password protection of the Safe Exam Browser config file. Then user interface, you can say you can use the browser window, and then these are the settings. Normally you allow it to be in the default. Then download and upload. If you are going to give out a paper which you have uploaded to a cloud and you enable the student to download the paper physically, you can permit the student to download. You can enable the student download here, either in the PDF format or text format. Here we are not going to allow uploads or downloads because they are going to do an online exam. And here this is actually advanced setting which you need not bother now. We will take another session as far as the exam advanced setting is concerned. Then we will go to the application. Again, this is actually meant for third-party application which will run outside, and you would have created the exam using that application. You need to configure your Safe Exam Browser to run that application. That we are not going to do. We are going to conduct the exam using only Google Forms or Microsoft Forms. So we are not going to do anything about it. All these things I don't think you need to do. We will get all the details of this configuration later, because this doesn't matter much. And I want it to be very clear. Again, I repeat, as soon as you open the configuration tool by going to the start window, finding the folder where Safe Exam Browser resides, click the download, click the down arrow, click the SEB configuration tool. So open this window, you key in the administrator password, which is going to be your password, and then key it again to confirm it. And then don't forget to check this box, allow user to quit the SEB. Then give out the URL of the examination site or your form site or your form URL, which contains the test file. And then next is the config file. You'll have to tell the config file you're going to start the exam. You need to check this box, allow open preferences window on client Mac. And then this is actually the password you're going to set here. You need to send this password to the student. You can mail this configuration file to the student 1 day before the exam, and the password can be sent by either SMS or WhatsApp to the student 5 minutes before the exam. So now we will go and save the settings file as, we will say, we can give a name, unique name, exam 1 or exam 2. You can name anything one. You save it in the desktop. So it shows it as saved. Now the same file can be sent to the student for examination purposes. I will show you the video clipping which opens the Safe Browser window. This is how it will open. Sorry, I have used a handycam to record. Here you see the button here, that is the close button. The button down below is the close button. This is how the browser will look like. So the student will have to take the exam. After completing the exam, he has to close the browser button here, exit button here. I'll show you again. So that is the exit button. So you close the exit button and come out of the exam.